It's on expanding equation of a circle. So there's going to be a total of 8 problems on Khan Academy. 4 is going to be features of a circle from an expanded equation, and 4 problems are going to be graph a circle from an expanded equation. Okay, so here I wrote down the notes that you should know about a circle. So x minus a to the second plus y minus k to the second equals r squared. That is the equation of a circle, and h and k are the centers of the circle. So what we have to do in the first two examples is we need to get it into the circle type equation. We have to get it into this form right here. Okay, so in example 1, in order to get it into this form, we need to find, we need to complete the square form with each variable. So we need to complete the square with the x variables, and we need to complete the square with the y variables. Okay, so for example 1, we are going to set this up so that it says, okay, so x squared. Now we're going to put the 18x right next to it, and we're going to leave some space. Okay, plus, now we're going to complete the square with the y variable, so y squared, and then let's put the 14y right next to this, and then leave some space, and that's going to equal to, oh, we forgot the 105, and that's going to equal to 0. Okay, so all I did was I just put the x variables, put them next to each other in parentheses, and put the y variables next to each other in parentheses, and then plus 105 and then equals 0. Okay, so now this is the process on how you complete the square. So what you have to do is for the x variable, you have to half the 18 and then raise it to the second power. So half of 18 is 9. 9 raised to the second power is 9 times 9, which is 81. Now, since we added 81 to the left-hand side of the equal sign, that means we have to add 81 to this side. So we're going to add 81 to that side. Now let's look at the y variable. Well, we'll finish this one. So now this is in complete this. Now we're set up to make this into complete the square. So this complete the square is going to be x plus half of 18 was the 9. And then raise that to the second. So this, you guys, is equal to this. Okay, so that is complete the square for that. Now let's focus on the y variables. So we take half of this, which is 7, and then raise that to the second power. So 7 to the second power is 7 times 7, which is plus 49. But since we added 49 to the left-hand side of the equal sign, we have to add 49 to this side. Okay, so now we could complete the square with this one. So y plus, well, what was half of 14? 7. So y plus 7 to the second. So this, you guys, y plus 7 to the second is equal to that. And now all we have to do is get rid of this 105 and put it on the right hand side. So we have to just subtract 105 to both sides of the equal sign. Okay, so this is going to cancel. So now we have x plus 9 to the second plus y plus 7 to the second is equal to, now put this into your calculator, 81 plus 49 minus 105, and you should have gotten 25. So as you guys can see, this looks very similar to that right there. So to cap it off, your guys' center is going to be -9, -7. Notice that it's +9, but to get it into center form, it's the opposite of that, and this as well. and your radius is equal to, now remember, in the equation, it's r squared is equal to 25, right? So that means you have to square root 25 in order to get the r. So square root of 25 is 5. So your center is -9, -7, and r is equal to 5. So I'm recognizing that I have to do this horizontally, so I'm going to drag this there. So we can start with this one. I'm going to drag everything down. Okay, so now we'll do example 2. Okay, so let's set it up, right? So let's separate. So I got x squared plus 2x, and then leave some space, plus, now does everyone see that there is no y variable to this y squared? So we can automatically just make that look like the formula right here, which is y minus 0 squared is equal to 0. I did that because there's no y variable, so we don't need to complete the square since it's already in complete the square form. But we do have to complete the square for the x. Okay, so remember to complete this square, half of 2 is 1. 1 to the second power is 1 times 1, which is just 1. But since the 1 did not exist there initially, that means on the right-hand side we need to add by 1. So completing the square, right, and to complete the square form, we got x plus half of 2 is 1. And then plus y minus 0 squared is equal to 1. And now we could find our center, which is going to be -1, comma 0. And your radius is going to equal to this, but you have to square root that like this, right? You got to square root that number, so square root of 1 is just 1. So center is -1, comma 0, and radius is equal to 1. So that's how you guys go about those problems. I'm going to scooch this up. Okay, this one is definitely going to have to take the bottom. Alright, so now let's approach this one. Now what we have to do for these types of problems, it's the same process as the examples above, you guys, but now you have to graph the circle. So let's get this into our circular equation type form. So x squared minus 12x, so put this in parentheses, plus y squared, and then we got a variable right there, right? Plus 6y, and then plus 36 is equal to 0. So let's complete the square for the x variables. Half of -12 is -6. -6 raised to the second power, which is -6 times -6 is 36. So we added 36 to this one, so that means we need to add 36 to this side. Now to complete this, complete the square mode, x minus, or before that, what is half of -12, right? Half of -12 is -6, so -6 raised to the second. Plus, now let's go to our y variables. Okay, so half of y, or 6y, half of that is 3. 3 to the second power, which is 3 times 3 is 9. So this is going to be y, half of 6 is 3 to the second equals. Now, I forgot, if you added 9 there, right, you need to add 9 over here. Now, we have to get rid of this 36 right here, so subtract 36 to both sides, and this is going to cancel. So now, 36 plus 9 minus 36, which is going to equal to 9. So, we got it into our circle equation. Now, let's find our center. So, our center is going to be 6, comma, -3, and the radius is going to equal, remember, the square root of that. So the square root of 9 is 3. So there is your center and your radius. So then when you guys graph it, right, I'm just going to draw a sketch of it. 6 comma 1 2 3 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 6 comma negative 3, and then a radius of 3. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. All right, so that's how you guys graph your guys' circle from the inequation. Okay, one more. I'm gonna stretch this out so you guys can still see the equation. All right, so for this one, let's set it up. So x squared minus 2x, leave that, leave some space, plus, okay, notice that there's only one variable of y, right? There's only y squared, so I can automatically just put that into its form. Minus 80 is equal to 0. All right, so let's complete the square for the x variables. So half of negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 to the second power is negative 1 times negative 1, which is just 1. So we added 1 to the left-hand side. We've got to add 1 to the right-hand side. And to make this and to complete the square form, x half of negative 2 is negative 1. So negative 1 squared. And we already know y is that one. Now for this, you guys, gotta get rid of that, so we need to move it to the right-hand side. So add 80 to this side, which means we gotta add 80 to that side. These cancel, so we just have equals to 80 plus 1 is 81. So our form is, oh, here's our circle form. So now we can find our center, which is that one. So since that says negative 1, this is going to be 1. And that's just 0. So center is 1 comma 0. The radius is equal to the square root of that. So the square root of 81 is 9. So when you guys graph your circle, center is at 1 comma 0, which is there, and then it's 9 up, 9 to the left, 9 down, and 9 to the right. And then there you guys go. Okay, so that's how you guys do those problems. That's the rest of the notes. So good luck, everyone, okay?